This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Do you love going to the cinema?
You do.
You do love going to the cinema?
I can't remember the last time I went.
Really? Me, Mum and Dad always go to Karen Up Now, and the Hoyts there have D-Box and the...
Oh, yeah,
It's so fancy.
You love that
No, the
stuff, don't you?
D-Box is sort of like for everyone, Nat, but the seats shake.
Yeah.
And it's just
Is
amazing.
that just you passing wind?
No, it's the turbulence. Sometimes in a very active scene, your drink can fall
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
onto the
that's too
ground.
much. I don't want that to happen.
Or your mobile phone falls into the crease of the chair. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
I hadn't been to the movies in ages, and then I went and saw Deadpool not that long ago. And I know.
I didn't see
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Was it
You
good?
didn't tell me this.
I mean, it was... Look, I loved it
is.
for Ryan Reynolds. I will watch anything that he's in, right? But the actual plot of the movie, so stupid.
Yeah.
But there were some lines in there that I laughed at so heartily, like fully, and then nobody else laughed at. And I
Yeah,
went,
right.
am I the only, why am I the only person getting this?
You went on a sneaky date, were you?
No, I went with my mate Justine and her husband Al, so it was a three-way.
Ah, freeway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Very modern. Very
Yeah,
modern.
that's right.
Well, obviously you're up to date with all the movies. Have you seen the Terrifier franchise?
I'd never heard of it, Nathan. I'd never heard of this franchise.
Terrifier is a horror movie, and
So Sean wouldn't have seen it.
Oh,
yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
Very
So,
scared.
and Terrifier 3 is the third in the installment, but
I
also.
can't believe I missed the first two.
But also, there's apparently all these other things that branch off from this one franchise. So it's about
a universe.
Yeah. It's about it's a Christmas horror film. This one, it's about Art the Clown. He's the main. He's like the Freddy Krueger. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's the monster that's been in all of them. Art the Clown, he unleashes a night of bloody chaos on Christmas Eve. Here's a little bit of the trailer.
You survived the most famous serial killer since Jack the Ripper. The 5-year anniversary is coming up. I think a lot of people would really like to hear from you after all this time. Want to know what it's like to be in the presence of that kind of evil.
Sean.
Always a chainsaw, Nath.
Well, that's how you kill people and cut down trees.
Yes.
So here's the deal.
Yeah.
This movie around the world has been making people throw up, pass out, injure themselves. And this woman that lives here in Perth, who's actually a Rotten Tomatoes reporter, her name's Emma Clark, she went and saw it in Perth because she goes, I want to see this movie because she's a fan of the franchise.
Yes,
of
and it's
films.
like, is this just hype that everybody's
and
got
she goes,
carrying on?
I want to see if this actually
Are
really
the
happens.
Americans just being histrionic?
Yeah. Here is Emma telling her experience of watching the Terrifier 3 in Perth.
Why did two people faint right in front of me during that film? Both trying to run down the stairs to get out of the cinema because they felt queasy. This poor girl, she gashed her head open. Oh my God, really shook me up too. It just took me out of the film for a moment.
One guy was sick. The other
Yes.
girl gashed her head. She had to sit there while she got medical help.
It bleeds a lot
She
from
got
your forehead
up and
too.
had to run out because she was feeling queasy.
I can't see any value in seeing a movie that makes you
Paying good money
do
for that.
Why?
How's that not fun? Isn't watching a movie supposed to be fun?
No, sure. A movie is all different things. Sometimes people watch a movie to cry.
To feel something.
To laugh.
But you're not supposed to leave with a head injury.
No, you're not. Traditionally, Natalie, you're not. Traditionally.
I mean, I don't know.
Have you ever had a really full-on reaction to a movie?
I haven't. One of my friends, though, she went and saw Blair Witch. And you know how that was all, like, they made out like it was, kids filming it themselves. So the camera work was really... She couldn't watch it. She had to lie down.
Oh, because she was getting like vertigo.
It was making her motion sickness because of the jumpy camera work.
Where did she lie down?
Like in the cinema. So she lay down on the seats. Luckily, it wasn't full. She wasn't lying on people's laps. So she just lay down and she said she kind of watched it through the gap between two seats. Like, why you just wouldn't go home at that point?
I remember
I'm done.
Nat, you were sick during this time, and
Yes.
Claire Marshall, who used to work here at Nova, she was stepping in for Nat, and we had to go and see Wolf Creek.
Yeah.
And it was at a private cinema called the Jaffa Room in East Perth, and it was just me and Claire. And Claire got up probably 20 minutes in the movie and said, "This is too scary, I'm leaving me by myself."
to watch
How did you feel? Were you
Wolf
jumping
Creek
at
on your
stuff
own?
then?
Well, remember the Jaffa Room? The Jaffa Room was like, Robbie and Donna, they ran it, and Robbie and Donna were out the back doing something. So really, you're just in this like sort of darkened place by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was lots of kind of curtains along the edge where murderers could hide. Nathan.
But she had to leave. She had to leave. I've never had to leave a movie because it's affected me so much.
Yeah, you might leave because it's no good.
Yeah.
But and Sean's left many movies
What was
because he
that
just
one?
refuses. The Dressmaker.
Oh.
You were just too emotional about
What are you
that
talking about?
girl that
Kate
made dresses.
Winslet, Kate Winslet on the banana.
Horrendous.
And who apparently was in the same year at school as Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, bit of a stretch.
Stretch. What?
Yeah.
Well, in the movie. That's what
that's
it was.
right, that's
Yeah,
right.
that
Hey,
was the
we
gist
want to
of it.
know, has anyone that is listening right now had a full-on reaction to a movie? I'm talking walkouts, fainting, throwing up, maybe
Having to lie
nightmares
down.
for weeks.
Yeah.
A full-on reaction.
Were you
We want to know,
physically and emotionally affected?
what was the movie that you saw and what happened?
Yvette, hello.
Hello, how you going?
Hi,
Good,
Yvette.
Yvette.
Have you been physically or psychologically traumatised by a movie?
Yeah, both, but it wasn't a movie. I actually studied film back in the day.
Yeah.
And in one of my units, it was Australian cinema, and essentially it was like a silent movie, really grainy film, flashes of black, and then this, like, you know, woman panting, and then it ended up being a childbirth scene.
Yeah. Yes.
It was so full on that I just started kind of having a bit of a panic attack in the uni lecture theatre.
Yes.
And I was like, you know, just like rushing past everyone, like, excuse me, and then I stacked it on the way down. Like I was like halfway up the theatre, and it kind of like scarred me for life. And I was like, I'm never having kids.
Yes.
Did you ever have
I
kids?
do have. Yeah, I've got two, but I was like, I'm going C-sections.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
Caesar salads all the way around.
Yeah.
What, I don't even remember the course that my friend was doing, but we all rocked up there and they would do a desensitization
Yeah,
course
that would have
where
been
you
psychology.
would go, psychology, to go and look at all different pornography. So we went that night because they said you could bring friends. So we all went. And everyone had like chips and drinks and stuff like that. And then they show you a series of pornography that you would never probably see, like two very elderly people.
Brian and
That's
Marlene.
just
Like,
wrong.
yeah. Like people that have been in severe accidents.
Yeah.
All this full on stuff, and you're there. It was shocking, and then you watch it there to desensitize yourself at
Yes.
the end of the night to go. At the end, it's just bodies.
Yeah.
That's why he's such a sick puppy now.
I've seen everything.
Thanks, Yvette. Sage is in Claremont. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Sage.
Sage.
Okay, so have you been physically or emotionally traumatised by a movie?
Absolutely. So this was some years ago. We went to see the movie Black Swan.
Natalie Portman. And
Yes.
who else was in it? Natalie Portman and who else?
Mia, the one who's married to Ashton.
Mila
Mila Kunis. That's
Yes.
right. Mila
So this
Kunis.
is the ballet one,
Yeah.
the dancer, yeah?
This is the ballet one. I've heard it's very good, but I could not watch it all because. So I went with a group of friends. This was in the day before you could book online, so we weren't all actually sitting together. I was sitting with one of my friends. One was sitting like some rows behind us, and it was in the scene where she started picking at her cuticle. And I was, oh my God, I've got heart palpitations now just thinking about it. I said to my friend, I honestly do, I said to my friend, I don't feel very good, I feel a bit weird. And so I left the theatre and she followed me.
Yeah.
And then once we got out of the theatre, I fainted. I hit my head on something that was on the wall, like this bar heater.
Oh, Sage.
So she took me to emergency
Yeah.
to get myself checked out. And the worst bit was that my friend who was sitting behind us didn't know what had happened. And she just stayed there watching the movie. And then at the end, she was like,
Where's my
"Where
lift?
are you
I
guys?"
had to walk home.
You're in hospital.
I tell you what,
a nice
though,
movie about a dancer.
I think that you skip on through. We all saw that movie. I don't even know the scene you're talking about, but that was
No.
so monumental to you.
Yeah,
The things
that's
that
right.
affect different people are amazing.
Thanks, Sage. Di's in Rockingham. Okay, talk us through the movie that traumatised you.
So it was actually my husband's auntie, and
Yeah.
it happened many, many years ago when The Godfather was out.
Yeah.
And he was at the movies, watching the movie, everything was fine, and then there's the scene where there's the horse head in the bed.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had a panic attack, an asthma attack, and literally passed away in the cinema.
Di?
Yeah.
So the Godfather killed her.
Yeah, literally. She died at the cinema. I think it might have been the Piccadilly or the Royal.
Oh, my God.
It feels like it would have been the Piccadilly.
Yeah,
Because
I think it was
whenever I was in the Piccadilly, I thought, how many people have died in here?
And well, at least one.
Definitely one.
You know what? So
mean-
it is terrible that
Do you get a
know,
refund?
I mean, that's next level.
No, but it's terrible when you lose anyone, right? But
Yeah.
some circumstances are a bit more funny than others. Do you guys
No.
laugh about the fact that she died in the cinema?
it's funny, you know, because we were only talking about it the other day, like my husband and I, and the Godfather thing, there was something on TV, and he said, oh my gosh, I remember, that was my aunt. She goes to the cinema, and it was like funny, but it's not.
No,
You know,
it's obviously tragic,
But it is fun.
but also...
my first thought was, did the ambulance go into the cinema? Like, the ambulance people, like...
Yeah,
And
imagine.
did they have to pay a ticket?
Yeah, she won't be needing that chalk bomb.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Talking about the most famous person that you might have touched.
Now we've got Sam here who does our social media.
Yes, Sam.
Talk to me about where your hands are burning.
We need Sam's mic on.
My
There we
hands
go.
have been on Jennifer Lopez, Pharrell, and a Spice Girl.
Spice Girl.
Unfortunately, it was scary.
Oh.
Um,
Who
like
hasn't touched Scary?
no.
Mel B.
Yeah.
Why?
I used to work in this fancy bag store on in the city, and so
What's a bag store?
it's called Bally. It's not around
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
But back in the day, like obviously being on King Street, it was like it used to be
Yes,
one of
a
the
bit of a
shopping
mecca,
destinations.
yeah.
So you'd always get the celebrities when they come through town going up and down the street.
And
so.
were you coached on how to deal with celebrities?
No.
No? So
I was
what'd
like,
you
oh
do?
my God, hey, how are you?
So touching them all over wasn't
J-Lo,
frowned upon.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she was such a mole.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
she's a
she was a
mole.
mole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very short meeting, but you could just tell instantly.
That's the thing with celebrities. If you see them and they don't speak to people like sales assistants
Yes.
like normally, it's like, who do you think you are?
Yeah, that's right.
Was it hard to play cool? Or did you
Didn't play cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily care about J-Lo, but like when she's in front of you, I was like, whoa, because I knew she was like down the street,
Yeah.
and I was like, I bet she's going to
Is she that beautiful close up?
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous. But a mole.
Fergie. We touched Fergie.
Yeah, we did too.
Yep,
Luke's in Rockingham. Hello.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Oh,
Hey,
good,
super
Luke.
Luke.
Okay, have you been touching?
Well, this sounds a little bit weird. Don't take it the wrong way. The late King of Pop, Michael Jackson.
Oh, we're taking it
Jesus,
the wrong
mate.
way. Did
Sorry.
you touch him or did
So
he
sorry.
Yeah, it
touch
was
you?
the other way around.
No, well, actually, he shook my hand at Observation City when he did his tour. I think it was in about 98.
Yeah.
And all I remember from that was the softest hands possible.
Well,
Yeah, it hasn't done a
Oh,
day's
why
work.
no,
you know.
that'd be softer than Sean's. I'm guessing.
Hey, Luke. I've never picked up a spade in my life. Luke, how old were you at the time?
17.
Oh, too old for
too
him.
old.
Too
You,
old
you
for
were
him.
safe.
Yeah. Thank God for that.
It was safe.
Did get an invite to the room, obviously.
All right, we better move on. Thank you, Luke.
to beat it.
Eugene is in Duncraig. Good morning, Eugene.
Morning.
Hey,
Okay, Eugene.
Eugene.
Okay, talk to us. Who have you touched?
Flow Rider.
Now, why? Why have you touched Flow Rider? How did that come about?
He was over in Perth for a charity gig,
Yes.
and I was walking past him on the stairs,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, you know, here's my opportunity, so I touched him on the tricep. Because you're not going to not touch Flow Rider
No, of
on
course
the
you're not
tricep.
going to not
God,
try
it's got
Flow
big
Rider.
guns.
Especially on the tricep.
You're only human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he looked at me weird.
Yeah, I wonder why. On the tricep.
Just a little, you know. Just
a little
good
Oh,
fun.
Sean, if you get an opportunity to touch a celebrity on the tricep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not
go
going
for
to
it.
knock that down.
Hey, Eugene,
amazing.
straight in the same. I just remembered when I was in Vegas one time. Akon, he was right next
Yeah,
to me, so
yeah.
I ended up wearing his jacket for the night. He had a white
Yeah,
coat
right.
on. I stole
Yeah.
it off him.
Hey, Eugene, how tiny was Flow Rider? Was he smaller in real life?
He was jacked.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's big
right.
unit, Flow
So
Rider.
singers, it doesn't
Yeah.
work with singers. So, movie stars and TV stars, they get smaller in real
Yeah.
life, and singers seem to get bigger.
Bruno Mars is tiny.
No,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
no, I think Pitbull. I think he's a little
Oh,
guy.
he's a pocket person. Eugene, impressive.
Thanks, Eugene.
Tricep.
Haley's in Byford. Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
Now, Haley,
Good,
since your
Haley.
mum's been touching famous people, is it?
She has. She works in Brisbane Airport, and she has privately ushered many celebrities.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, Hugh Jackman, and Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
No way.
Does she get to touch them, though, in that capacity? Like, does she...
She does. Yeah, she's had photos taken with
Nice.
most of them, and yeah.
Okay,
So,
so
That's a big
Firstly,
bunch.
did she touch their triceps? I'm sure she would have. She would have ushering them through. Secondly, okay, we've heard a lot about Blake Lively lately. People are trying to cancel her, and they're saying that she's a bitch. Is Blake Lively lovely, according to you?
Blake
She is
Lovely.
lovely. According to my mum,
Yeah.
she said that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are both really, really down-to-earth people.
Now, can I say...
We're not going to argue with Hayley's
Can I
mum.
say as well, here's the deal, right? So that is Blake after a long flight to Australia.
that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We at an airport speaking to someone that's just ushering her through, and she was lovely in that scenario. I don't think she's a bitch.
No, it seemed like there was a bit of a snowball job, by the way, with those
Yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of
for
things just
sure.
coming out.
That was exciting.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We're talking about when you save yourself at the expense of someone else.
These are okay decisions we're finding so far. Tash is in
Sounds like
Bennett
you're a little
Springs.
biased.
I think these people are great people. Hi, Tash.
Hello, how you going?
Great,
Hey, Tash.
What happened, Tash?
So when my child was young, so you can tell this is going to go well, we were eating Red Rooster in the park. It was me, my son and my sister, and I'm deathly afraid of geese. Yeah, there was a gaggle of geese and they wanted the chips and I basically threw the large chips and bolted. Yeah, my sister and son left them sitting there. They sort of stood up. She's quite short.
Yep.
She had to pick him up and bolt and I ended up sitting on top of a picnic table.
Well, I'm thinking because you've thrown the chips,
Yes.
there were chips everywhere, so therefore your child and your sister were...
Can make a getaway? No?
Well, no. They were right in the middle of the things that the geese
Oh,
wanted.
yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Or did you throw the
Yeah.
chips on your sister? Because that also would have been funny.
I sort of did ditch the chips towards the geese, but that's where my sister and son were. And
Well played.
yeah. I'm a good mum.
Hey, where do you think your fear of geese came from? Did something happen early, or you just never understood them?
I don't like any bird that walks. Like, I have a thing for, like,
So ducks,
Yep.
swans,
Any bird.
Ducks, chickens, swans,
emus.
They all walk.
Yep.
Chickens,
yeah, I
yeah.
know, but like the ones that fly, they fly away. The ones that walk don't.
They walk
stay
towards
there.
you.
And when they
like
walk
humans.
towards you without any effort, you know they know, and you know they're going to get you.
Yeah, they're cocky.
They
just
can and
waddle up
will.
They're
towards
cocky.
you and-
They're cocky.
Oh, they're horrible.
Don't even get me
horrible.
started on how cocky a cocky is.
Yeah, very cocky.
For me, I thought it would have been the long necks. There's something about a real elongated neck of a swan or a goose.
Yes, and
that
the way
is
they
disconcerting.
run at you with their head down, like
Yeah.
in attack mode, that I don't like.
hissing at you.
Yeah, vicious little things.
Ah,
Thanks,
dangerous.
Tash. Claire, hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Claire. Are you a monster like Nathan?
No, we're not monsters.
No, look, I feel like Nathan wasn't a monster, but I think I was a bit, and I still feel guilty about it to this day.
Okay, we'll be your moral compass. All right, let us know what happened.
Okay, so I was standing in line at a coffee shop and I was waiting for my coffee and there was a child beside me jumping up and down, as kids do.
Yeah.
And as the barista hands me my coffee, I see it out the corner of my eye. Everything goes into slow motion.
Yeah.
The child trips and falls and I have to think, oh my gosh, do I catch this child? Do I drop my coffee and catch this child? Or do I keep holding my coffee? And do you know what I did?
I have a feeling.
Kept holding my coffee, and the child fell over.
Look, to be fair, they've got a low centre of gravity. They don't have far to fall.
They do. They basically bounce at that age.
Yeah.
Did the kid cry a lot after the fall?
They did, yes. And you know what? I'm one of those terrible people where if someone falls over,
Me
I do
too.
laugh a little
Oh,
bit.
I don't laugh a
Nathan,
little bit.
yeah.
I laugh a lot.
Yeah.
He does.
Like really bad, and it doesn't matter who
The
they
older
are.
the person, the more you laugh.
If they're
to be honest.
super elderly, where everyone else, even strangers, run up and see if they're okay, I'm
Yeah.
in the corner laughing. It's so horrible, and I love old people. I can't help it. How much was your coffee?
Oh, gosh. Well, I do live in Perth, so it was quite
Yes,
expensive.
yes.
Yeah,
We're talking
well,
off the
so
top of my
$5.
head.
$5, yeah.
$5. I mean,
Yeah,
come on,
good decision.
You're not going
what?
to save a
And
child.
to be fair, that kid was there with
$5.
its mother. Why wasn't its mother catching it?
True.
Yeah, see?
I think you did the right thing.
As a coffee drinker, I think you did the right thing too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Gary from Woodvale. Hi, Gary.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good,
Good,
Gary.
Gary.
I've been searching all morning for a story that's going to make me look less bad, and I think I might have found it.
What happened, Gary?
All right, Sean, you probably know where I'm coming from. This thing is surfer as well. So about a year back, when there was a lot of shark sightings.
Yeah.
We were out surfing just on the right of Engine Up.
Oh, yeah.
So we were
P
out
break,
there having a
yeah.
good surf. Yeah, P break. And I saw this fin come out of the water, and I just panicked. My heart jumped out of my chest, and I just paddled. Totally forgot my mate was out there.
So you didn't mention it to him, Gary?
What are you doing? And I was like, shark!
So you yelled shark basically nearly from the shore because you'd paddled so far?
He was in the car.
I haven't paddled that far in my life, so and when my mate said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, mate."
Has he ever let you live that down?
Oh, you know what? He has. We just have a laugh over a beer, but it was just one of those moments where it could have gone absolutely pear-shaped, but it didn't. So.
Really
Gary, was it a shark or dolphin?
You know what? I'm going to say shark.
Yeah. Okay.
Because at the point in time, there was a lot of shark sightings. And
so it was obviously one of them.
But we're quite far out as well, so it was definitely one of those moments. I just quickly.
I've got a question for you two surfers. Sometimes do you think, right, to put it in the mix, because you do want to survive, right? And whoever you're out with, I'm sure you like them, but you would rather them go first. Let's be honest. So would
surf on the inside of them?
Like say you know those feeding syringes that you give to when you got to give your animals some medicine. Just having that full with some blood. Just in your pocket. So then if you see a shark, you can squirt it in your friend's direction and then go.
So they get the taste of the marinade before.
So then the shark goes, wait, there's some blood there, and they go there, and then you've got would you do that ever?
Every time I paddle out, I'm assessing where I'm sitting versus the group.
So where you are in the feeding line?
All the time, yeah. Okay, so Harry's further out.
Harry's further out.
Right? Your beauty.
Yeah.
Nat and Nathan are beside me. I'm laughing.
What about you, Gary? Do you do the same thing? Do you see where you are literally in the pecking order?
I do. I mean, I assess the breaks, but also I like to be the skinniest out there as well. So, there's a bit more meat on the other guys.
See, it's like...
So if Gary asks you to go surfing, you think she's fat?
Exactly. Or just fatter than him. It's like the zebra thing. You want to be in the middle of the herd of the zebra. You don't want to be the one on the edge that's being picked off.
And it's worse because if a set comes through, right, and everyone catches a wave, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God.
But people do this even in their houses. Really, the chivalrous thing to do is for a man to sleep closest to the door because if a murderer comes in. But a lot of men there, they'll make sure the woman's there first so they can get out. Where's Megan sleep? She sleeps closest to the door. She sleeps closest to the door. Doesn't
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Brazen crimes. It's done out in the open in front of everybody. Nobody bats an eyelid when it happens.
It seems to be the clever way to do it. That's how you get a car.
Yeah.
That's how you get like a collector Commodore with a tow truck.
Just drag it away.
Or a whole smoke machine in your case, Nath.
Yeah.
Taylor's in Byford. Hello, Taylor.
Hello, how you going?
Hi,
Good,
Taylor.
buddy. So we're talking about brazen crimes. What happened?
So a couple of years ago, I used to work I was a tyre fitter, and I used to work for a tyre store. And during the day, so at the front of the tyre store, we have these tyre racks that display all your tyres and stuff.
I know the ones. Yeah.
And this guy basically came into the shop. He'd taken a tyre off the rack and put it in the boot of his car.
Yeah.
And then came back about 5-10 minutes later into the shop and asked us to fit the tyre onto his car.
Did he get away with it, Taylor? Did you realise?
No, the tyre was the completely wrong size and everything for the car. It wasn't even the right, and nothing was right for the car. So.
And he said, "I can have a refund then."
The balls to do that?
That's audacity.
So funny.
Oh, okay, you know
Amazing.
what? That would have been a fun week at work. You would have been talking about that all week.
Yeah, good work.
Great.
Thanks, Taylor. Steve's in Swanview. Hello.
Morning, guys. How you going?
Hey, good to see
Have you been the victim of a brazen crime, Steve?
Yeah, I have two. So the first one's really quickly. My old golf club, I was there early in the morning. Two guys rocked up in just yellow polo shirts, walked into the bar, took the massive flat screen TV off the wall, and walked out, put it in the van, and off they went.
Where was this?
At the golf club.
At the golf club.
Look, at the golf club, yeah. Yeah,
But
that's the golf club.
The yellow polos got them over the
Yellow
line.
polos, yeah.
Okay.
Now, the one that's more crazy is I work at just a park, and the group next door to us, two guys rocked up in a van, and over 5 days stole all the copper wiring.
Oh, no
What's
way.
systematic? The fact that they're there for 5 days.
Yeah, literally stole, I don't know how, and literally that poor little community group had nothing, literally. They didn't even know what happened. Yeah, and they stole all the copper wiring, which is like $20,000 worth of copper wiring.
Wow, but like a 5 day shift, like a 5 days, days of constant stealing, and people would have seen them and probably said, "Oh, hey, how you going, guys? Oh, yeah, good. Oh, hotter than yesterday, hey? I know." would have had a conversation with some people.
Absolutely.
God,
That's amazing.
Confidence is key, criminals. Are you listening?
Audacity. Thank you, Steve. Linda's in Woodbridge. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Linda.
Yeah. Hi. My story's a little bit similar to Nathan's. I used to work at a bar in Northbridge.
Yes.
Well, the City Spirit Sound Bar, it's called.
Oh, yeah, I used to go to Spirit Sound Bar.
Good times.
Yeah, well, I used to be the bar supervisor there, and so we used to have after-work drinks and things like that, and have functions, and then we'd go into a bit more of a clubby kind of feel before people would go out. Yeah, and a couple of guys came in and walked out with one of our Chesterfield couches, and the bouncers actually held the doors open for them as they walked out with it.
So what did they say to the bouncers?
So
Did they
good.
say anything at all, or what? They just...
Oh, yeah, can you just give us a hand, mate?
Give us a hand.
Yeah, thanks,
Hold the door there,
They were
Nate.
dressed looking like they were ready just to help us out in the bar, which was not uncommon around that time. We'd move furniture back around,
So wait there, let me get this straight. So a Chesterfield, and that would have been a Chesterfield for a club, so they're a little bit more expensive because they're going to be heavier duty.
Leather,
Yeah, so
$4
what?
grand
$4 grand.
Yeah.
So they've walked out with it. Did they put it in a truck? What did they do with it?
No idea, because it took us a little bit of a while to work out what had happened until we went back to the footage and what the hell? So we couldn't see on the street.
Yeah.
But,
Linda, you know what it is.
Yeah, no, just walked straight out with it.
Confidence.
Linda, it's not just confidence, and I think, and you talked about the bouncers just then as well, it's getting someone to help you.
You've got to drag people into it.
You've got to drag other people in because then it shows, no, criminals don't ask for help if they're being sneaky.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.